Hello and welcome, it's Deborah from Attic Lane and you're at day one of my 12 Cards of Christmas series. I'll share as many different techniques and creative ideas as I can pack into each of these short daily videos. If you haven't already, please subscribe to make sure you don't miss anything. Now let's make. I'm going to be using one of the Santas from this really cute little Jingle All the Way stamp set from My Favourite Things. I'm also using a My Favourite Things hybrid ink pad, which is black licorice, to ink the stamp up because I'm going to be using Copic pens later on, and this will mean the ink doesn't run. To stamp up my sentiment, I'm using a Versacolour ink pad, and I'm going to use white embossing powder on this sentiment, which I will heat set, and then I will cut it out into a small rectangle ready to attach to my card. Now that's done, I'm going to set it to one side while I work on the other elements of my card. As I colour my Santa, I'm going to put the cap for each of the colours that I use at the top of the screen there so you can see which colour I'm using. And now I'm going to speed this up a little bit and I'm going to leave you with some music, and we'll meet up again when we're ready for the next stage. My cute little Santa is coloured and cut out, and I'll put him to one side while we work on the background. This is a Radiant Rays stencil from My Favourite Things, and I'm using two Versacolour inks. These are Canary and Marigold, and I'm starting with the Canary, and I'm just using the little square ink pad directly onto my white card below the stencil. I'm going to switch to the Marigold And now I'm going to use that in the centre of the design so that it looks as if it's starting quite dark and then fading out to a bright yellow. And I'm applying this with a slightly damp baby wipe. I will remove the stencil and then you'll be able to see the effect underneath. Ta-da! Very bright. And I'm just going to dry that off a little bit with my heat tool. I'm using a red coloured card and I've cut it slightly smaller than my white base card, and I'm going to glue that into position. And my bright radiant rays will sit on top of the red so that there's a tiny little thin border just around the outside. I'm taking my Santa that I coloured in previously and using a wet glue so that I've got some wiggle room when I position him, and I'm going to pop him right in the centre of my card. I think that looks really jolly and cheerful. I'm going to glue my sentiment into position on the bottom of the card, and then my card is finished. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for day 2.